So for this assessment, you need to create 2 new menus. You have to have a menu for when you win the game and a menu for when you lose the game. So my mission is just to walk you through all the steps that we've covered in the previous lessons and how to create one of the scenes, and then I'll leave you to create the others. You don't have to watch this video, obviously all the steps have already been done, but I thought it might be quite nice for you to see it in one go with me just doing it in real time. This will be quite a long video, but let's dig in, let's just have a look. So the first thing you need to do from this blank scene is to create a new node. So we're just going to click on the 2D node, and then we're going to give it a new name. So I'm just going to double click, and I'm going to call this you lose scene, or you lose menu, and click away from it. Now we've got that first node set up, what we can do is just go and save the scene. So scene, and then save scene. Make sure it goes in the right place. So here's our other levels, here's our you lose menu, and we're just going to press save. So there we go, we've got the scene saved. Now let's just zoom in a little bit using the middle mouse button, just roll it in, and then just holding the middle mouse button just to pan it round. So here's our main menu. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a background in. So if we come up to our images folder, and let's just have a look, see what kind of backgrounds. We've got this background castle. So I'm just going to click and drag, and that will create the node, and it will also give us a name. If you don't like this name, you can rename it. So let's just rename that to background, just so it makes a bit more sense. Now what we can do is move it into place and then stretch it out over the whole scene. And there we have it, we have our background, our first node. So the next thing we're going to want to do is add a little bit of text. Let's add a font. So let's come back up to this master node, and let's click the plus button, and the one we want is going to be something like text. Let's just type in text, and we want a rich text label. There we go, and let's just type in you lose, and click away, and let's just make that a bit bigger. So next thing we need to do is update the font, give it a new font, and let's just change the size and change the color just so it's nice and big. So if we scroll down on these settings, and the one we're going to want is this custom fonts, and let's go to the normal one, turn that on, then click new dynamic font, and then click the down arrow again to press edit. And then we have this font menu, so let's just open this and let's just drag our font. So I've already got the font set up, but obviously if you want more fonts, you can go back to the font and get some more fonts. That's absolutely fine. The font we're going to use is this hot sauce, so let's just drag that in, and now it's there. Let's just change the font size. Let's change it to something like, I don't know, 120, make it nice and big. Let's just stretch this out so it's nice and big. There we go. And let's just try and center it in the page a little bit, make sure it's okay. Fantastic. Okay, so from here let's go back to the color setting, and because it's loose, let's do a red color. So let's go to close our custom font and go to custom colors, default color, and let's just make it red for you lose, and then click away, and there we have. You can also have a sub menu, so let's just have a sub one that just says click on this text to go back to the main menu. So first let's relabel this to title, click on this one, and then let's open up another one, and we want another rich text label. So let's just double click on this, and then say let's click button to go back to main menu. There we go. And let's just make that a little bit bigger. Same again, let's add the font. Now for this font, I always use the Robo one, so I've got a little Robo light here. Just scroll down, this is the one I've got. So from the empty, let's click, and then dynamic, then click again, and say edit. And then from the font menu, let's add Robo. And once again, let's change the size. Let's make this about, I don't know, 60. And just click away. There we go. So 60 is too big. Let's make it 40. Okay, so far so good. Next thing then, let's just have a couple of characters. I just want one character on this. I'm just going to have a little enemy's face just bouncing up and down. So what we're going to do is we're going to close our fonts menus, and we go back to our images, and in here somewhere I've got a couple of enemies. So I've got this blocker mad, and I should also have another one. Oh no, I must have deleted it. Never mind. Let's use this blocker mad. Okay, so I've just dragged him in. It's created this. I don't need to relabel it. I'm quite happy with that. But let's just resize him. I'm holding down shift just so you can strain the proportions. And in a moment, I'll just have him bouncing up and down. So now we've got him on there. I'm not going to put any other images on, but if you want to put more images on, you can. The last thing that I need to do then is add a button. So let's just click on this one again, and let's click this one, and let's go down to our buttons. Let's just type button. Double click on the top one. Make it a bit bigger. So let's say main menu. There we go, and click away. I'm just going to put this in the center somewhere. And you can rearrange these how you want. I'm just going to put this here. So let's just sort out this font. So scroll down. Let's go to custom font. Turn it on. Let's go dynamic fonts and edit. Let's close this one. We're going to go back to our fonts menu. And we're just going to use the hot source one again. So let's just drag the hot source into here. There we go. And let's just change the size. So let's make him about 30. Let's make him 40. There we go. Now it's up to you if you want to change any of the color settings or whatever. You can do that. So if you were to go back one, you obviously have lots of different color settings. You can change all kinds of things on here. So in the last video, obviously you can change the color of the text. So if you go to custom colors and you turn on the font color, you can have that whatever color you want. So if you want to make it green or yellow or something like that, you could. You can change the background color as well. So let me show you how to do that again. So the background color is under styles. So once again, we'll have normal. And the one we're going to use is this flat box. And then we're going to press edit. And once again, you can change this to whatever you want. So let's make it something like that. You can also change the rounded edges of the box as well. There's a way of doing that. Just very quickly, I'll see if I can work it out there. I think there's a button that says rounded edges somewhere. It might have actually been in the style. Let's have a look. Yeah, here we go. So if you want to change the border colors, the border width, but this border radius just allows you to kind of change the way that the corners look if you want to. Just make that a bit bigger so you can see what's going on. There you go. So you can see the corners being cut away. You can also do this for the hover-overs as well. So it does look a little bit strange if you just do it for that. But I mean, that's as far as I'm going to take this. We don't need to do any more. But if you want to do the same for when you hover your mouse over, you can just turn this button on here. And then you can go to the flat style and you can do exactly the same settings in the hover button as well. So that when you hover over, it changes. And then when you click, it changes. But I'm just going to leave that off. Okay, so there's my button. We do need to connect this with a script. So let's just come over to here and let's add a new script. And that's fine. So it's going to give us the right name. It's not going to go in the correct folder. So let's just make sure it goes in the scripts folder. So let's just click on this button here. Let's go into our scripts and it's called the right name. It's a GD script. That's fine. So let's just press open. And let's press create, and then we have our script. And you do get all this kind of other junk that goes on, but you can delete most of this. So the script that we're going to do is just going to take it back to the main scene. So with this script set up, we're just going to click on the button. We're going to come over to the node, and then we're going to say something like enter. So we want to say mouse enter. So click on it once. Then press connect. So just make sure you've got the main node script being used and that it's connected to the button. and then we press connect. Once it does that, it does take you back to the script menu. So inside of this function, we're just going to say something like get underscore tree. Now by now it should have written that, so it's done something wrong. Oh, here we go, we've got an error, so it's not giving us what we want. So let's do that one more time. Hopefully it will give us some complete. There we go, get underscore tree, and then you got the brackets, and we want dot create scene, or it's not create scene, it is change scene. There we go, change scene, and then we want to put the brackets in, and we're going to tell it which scene we want it to go to. So we could either choose this main menu item here, which is absolutely fine, or if this list doesn't come up, we can actually come down to the main menu, right click on it, and then we can go to copy path, and then inside of here we can just right click and we can say paste, and there you go, that's the whole scene. So let's just save all scenes. Let's go back to this one and let's just check that it all works. So click on this button. Ha! Let me just check that. So for some reason it went straight into that. Oh, it's because I used entered. Oh, that was clever. Let's just change that. It wasn't entered, it was pressed. So click on this one again. Let's just disconnect this one. And then I'll delete that bit of code in a second. It's on mouse exit, on mouse closed. No, it's pressed, here it is. So when mouse is pressed, then we want it to connect. So we press connect. Once again, make sure it's connected to that one. We connect it. Now let's just copy this bit of code, Control C, and let's just paste it here, and let's just remove this, and that'll get rid of our little error. Okay, now let's just test that again. So save all scenes and run it. Now it doesn't go off to the next page, which is good. And you see you've got that dodgy kind of rounded corner thing going on. So when you hover over, it no longer has that. So if you wanted to make that be more consistent, you'd have to round off the hover as well. So let's click on that. It takes us back to the main menu. We are all good. So I believe there's just one more thing that we have to do. Now we've connected all this, let's just close that. Now we've connected all this, we're just going to move this little character up and down. We're just going to do a little bit of animation. But for me, that's all. If you want to add a video background or music, you can do that as well. Maybe we should add some music as well. We'll do the music first. So let's click on this You Lose button and let's type in audio. And the button we want is this audio stream player. So let's just double click on that. Now, if you want to use new audio, you can obviously go and get it. But I'm just going to use our Ben Sound one, same as what we've got on the main menu. So we've got this selected. It does say stream is currently empty, so let's drag in that. And remember, the audio has to be .ogg or .wav. MP3 won't work, unfortunately. Let's just turn the volume down a little bit, and let's turn autoplay on, and that should give us the audio we need for the main scene. So let's just call it background audio. And let's just test that, make sure it's okay. There we go. Button works. Okay. So let's clear all these bugs. I'm not sure why it keeps doing this. It's actually not a bug, so we'll have to look, see if there's a better solution for that, but for now it works. Okay. Button click. So let's add another piece of audio. Once again, selecting the top, and audio stream player, and then we'll just call this, I don't know, hit sound. So let's go back to our script, and actually we need to create a signal, don't we? So let's go back to the button, go to node. That's what it was. It was this one was on entered. So as the mouse enters, so we're going to click on the mouse entered. We're going to press connect, and there we go. And then we're going to connect it. Now the code we want starts with a $sign. And that just basically says, look, we're using a node. We're trying to connect it to a node. And the node we're trying to connect it to is this hit sound. So once again, if you didn't know what this one is, you can obviously kind of copy that, or you can take it from here. I'm just going to take it from here. So we can say $sound. Oh, not rich label. It moved on me. Just start typing. And then try double clicking. There we go. So hit sound dot play. And that is all the code we need. So as it moves into the script, as it moves into the button, it will play that audio. So let's save the scene and let's run it again. Okay, now I keep doing this, I keep forgetting to put the audio in. So let's go back to the hit sound. So although it says hit sound, what I've done is I actually haven't put any audio in the stream. So let's just grab that. Now the audio's there. Go back to the 2D. Let's try it one more time. I didn't save it, but it does it anyway. And press it. And there we go. Let me just save that scene. Okay, last bit then, the animation. So once again, let's click on this top node. Let's go type in animation. Animation player. Now our animation player is set up. Let's just do our things over here. So what we're going to connect it to is this mad block, or blocker mad. So let's just connect him to here. We need to create a new animation. So let's come down to here. And let's just call it bounce. And 1 second loop will be fine. So we do need to turn on the autoplay. And we do need to turn on the loop button, and then we need to connect it to the bounce animation, and that's pretty much it. And let's press stop for a second. 1 second will be absolutely fine. Now the kind of controls I'm using here is literally just to move him up and down. So if we come over to, so I've selected the mad blocker. Now if we come over to transform and we turn on the key for position, actually cancel because it's not at the beginning. Just make sure that's at the beginning. Now turn on the key for position, press create, and there we have our first keyframe. So let's just move him on, and he's going to be quite mad, so we're going to do this a few times. We'll move him down first, and then we'll key it. Then we'll move him up. Oh. Then move him up, then key it. So move the playhead first. And this will be quite rapid succession, so it might look a bit weird, but it's fine. So move the playhead, move him up, and I'm just going to move him to there, then key it, and then finally we're just going to key him in his original position. So let's save out the scene, and hopefully that should be pretty much it for our main menu. Once again, you can design your main menu however you want, but those are the elements that you have to use. You have to use animation, audio, buttons, text, and images, and you can also use a video as well. So let's just press this, and there you go. It looks quite nice actually. And there's our main menu. So hopefully that helps. So your mission now is to create a you lose menu and a you win menu.